welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. On Monday here, whereby at Barca, it doesn't actually rain, it only pours. You know, at the weekend we had a really damaging, really disappointing result against Leganes, but hey, that's not enough. You know, that's not just enough to really tide us over with the disappointment. Let's add some more fuel to the fire, because we have to talk here today about an injury, and it's a really damaging one here to Lamine Yamal. Yet another injury problem for him, and today we're going to be talking not just about the injury itself, the fact that he is injured and the severity of it, but we're also going to look further into this situation right now and discuss, is there reason to be concerned? And I'm going to be highlighting two major issues for me with Yamal right now. So all of that is on the way, guys. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're getting through this difficult period right now. Let's do it. Because indeed, guys, when it does come to Lamine Yamal, of course, yet again, he was in the starting lineup against Leganes last night, and we all saw very, very clearly when he did get a really heavy blow to his ankle there. It was a tackle that came in a bit late, I've got to say, and it's another one of these whereby Leganes made tackle after tackle after tackle really strong, and just got nothing for it. You know, they were allowed basically last night to do whatever they wanted to do. They only got a yellow card in the 75th minute of the game here. The tackle comes in, real contact on the ankle there of Yamal, and immediately after that, he went down in real pain, and you could see there it was a genuine problem. He really was in some discomfort. The medical staff came on, they gave him some attention, and then he went off, of course, before then returning to the field. And I have to say, watching Yamal from that moment on, it was a little bit uncomfortable, because especially there at the end of that first half, he was clearly limping around. You know, he was clearly limping in real discomfort, and I think right then the alarm bells should have been ringing for the Barcelona medical staff, for the coaching staff as well, to see, okay, he's not doing okay. He's not really able to continue in the game right here, and especially before half-time, I'm pretty sure that he signalled there that he was going to come off, that he was asking to be subbed, and maybe he was almost saying, though, I'll just wait until half-time. And I certainly expected at half-time, guys, for Yamal not to appear for the second half. I think we're all in the same boat there. We didn't expect him to come back out and continue there with that second half, even though we were losing. At the same time, if somebody's not right, it doesn't matter if we're behind in the game, you take them off. And I cannot believe it, and I am staggered now, even more so after this injury has been confirmed, that Yamal played 75 minutes. You know, I really don't think that was a good decision from Barca. I've got to say there, he clearly was not right. Ever since that tackle came in, it was a clear problem with his ankle, and there is no way at all, even though we were losing the game, that he should have went on to play 75 minutes. That was a mistake. That was a big error, in my opinion, on Barca's part. But indeed, after the game then, there was a lot of concern. There were people saying, okay, it's not looking good with Yamal's ankle. Immediately, the focus was on the Atletico Madrid game, and further tests were done this morning, and well, the Atleti game is only the tip of the iceberg, really, because the further testing has revealed there that Lamine Yamal will be out for between 3 to 4 weeks with a grade 1 injury to a ligament in the ankle there. It is a quite severe ankle sprain for Lamine Yamal, and that is a big blow there, confirmed by the club this morning. And of course now we're thinking not only how much time is he going to miss, but what games is he going to miss? How is that really going to work for Barca, given that we are so dependent, of course, on Lamine Yamal. Anytime that he's not in the lineup there, anytime that he hasn't been available, we have felt that loss, and that has led to him playing here a lot of minutes in this team. And of course, looking first of all at that Atletico Madrid game, he's obviously not going to be there for that next weekend. That's a massive blow. You know, that's a really big game for Barca now. We, of course, are on the same amount of points as they are in La Liga. It's massive, and now we won't have Yamal to call upon. And of course that means already, before we even go on to talk about more games here, other players are going to have to step up. You know, you can't really afford to depend only on a 17-year-old, you know, for the entire season. Other players here have got to think, okay, it's on me now. I've got to step up. I've got to take responsibility. We can't be burdening him with all of that responsibility, all of that pressure, even when Yamal is available and is able to play. It's not really healthy to do that right now. But indeed, looking at the 3 to 4 weeks out, I think it's an interesting one, because obviously, luckily for us, we've got the winter break, which means that after the Atleti game, you know, we've got a nice little break there, lots of recovery time for Yamal and all of the other Barcelona players, and then 3 weeks out would see him miss the the Copa del Rey game against Barça, that's against a lower league Spanish opposition there, that's not going to be a problem. I wouldn't have played Yamal in that game anyway, to be honest with you, and I would have been really disappointed if we had seen him in that game. So I don't mind him missing that game at all. Then you're looking, and the important part now for Barca is all about the Super Cup in January, of course. It's going to be in Saudi Arabia once again. We will play the semi-final there against Athletic Club first of all. Now, Yamal would be really touch and go for that game. It's going to be a sort of outside bet, I would say, that he'd be involved in that one. Then we have a potential final, providing we get through that game against Athletic Club, which won't be easy, guys. That's going to be a really challenging game. We know how difficult they've made it for us. And also, in that competition, now the final would be against either Real Madrid or Mallorca, and then that would be around the 4-week mark for Yamal. So maybe there he'd be looking at that final. I'd expect him very much so to travel with the team to Saudi Arabia as part of the squad there. That's what we're hearing in the media so far, and that he will be involved at some stage of that competition. But I think it really depends on if we're able to make that final, and then if we are, if he's going to be involved in that game. You'd expect him to be really fighting and really pushing to be involved in that one, because then following that, you'd expect him to be well and truly back in La Liga, where of course we really need the points. We really need to start stacking up some wins again in the league. We've got Getafe away then. That's our first league game in January. That's a tricky one. And that's also a game, by the way, where you don't really want to be throwing in a player who's just come back from injury. I don't really want to see Yamal playing Getafe away. I mean, I know that he probably will, and I know that we probably will need him in that game, but it's the last team that I actually want to see him play against. And the reason for that is, and this is coming on now to some of my concerns. Now, big concern number one, thinking about teams like Getafe and such, in my opinion, Yamal is not being protected. Now, you've got to remember here that in La Liga, it's about the product, it's about the league, it's about showcasing here the best quality, the best talent every single week, and ultimately, La Liga want entertainment. La Liga want players here who make people watch their league, watch their football. That is what brings in revenue to the clubs, to the league as a whole. So they need players, they really do, like Lamine Yamal. He is one of the players that gets people excited about La Liga. Now, what are they doing to actually protect him? Protecting a player there that is so instrumental for everybody. What are the referees doing? Because they are not protecting Yamal at all. And it's not just about the fact that he's a young player here, but it's about the fact that every single time that we play any sort of lower league opposition, and even higher, to be honest, we've seen it this season, especially against Villarreal. They're a top team, but they just kicked him all game long. They really took aim at Yamal, they really targeted him, they really tried to go at him, and you've got to be stronger. If you're referees here in La Liga, you've got to be producing cards, because if you consistently let teams there just settle into the game, have a few fouls here, a few kicks there, you let them get away with it, it really starts to stack up. And it only takes one missed tackle there, one late challenge, one lunge out, and you can have a serious problem. And I think definitely referees in La Liga, in this division, and of course thinking about the national team too, surely, Spain would like Yamal fit, they'd like him healthy, they'd like him available. Protect him then. Make sure that you are looking out for those targeting and punishing them in the right way. But that also brings me on, guys, and this is really important too. We've got to talk about this. This is my issue number 2. Because at 17 years old, are we already seeing the result of Yamal playing too often, and mainly here having such a burden weighing on his shoulders? Because like I've just said, he is so key to Barcelona, he is so key as well to Spain. As we know, they depend on him as much as we do at club level. So you've got responsibilities there for two absolutely massive teams, Barca and Spain. Already at 17, he is playing so many minutes. And my problem would be, he already had an ankle injury back in November. And so already now, in quick succession, in back-to-back months, we got Yamal injured and out for a matter of weeks. Now, that is concerning for me. I think already here, the alarm bells should be ringing for Barca and for Spain. They also need to do more to protect Lamine Yamal. Because just like I've said about La Liga, we want to see Yamal in action. We want to see him at his peak level, at his best level. And the last thing that any of us would want is for that to be disrupted by constant injury problems. And it may not be a massive injury yet again here. It's not like he's going to be out for months and months. It's not as though he's going to require any surgery. All of that is good, but you still don't want even these more minor injuries to start piling up here. Because again, you've got to look after a player, not only of this talent, But the age that he's at, he may be incredible, he may be world-beating at 17, but you've got to pace it. You saw with Pedri when he broke onto the scene, when we really did overuse him. The same went for Spain there. He was playing every game, every minute, every competition. You can't do that. With the amount of football, especially in the modern calendar, you will run players into the ground. And we have to think here about the long-term picture. Of course we want to depend on him. Of course we want to see Yamal out there. But these injuries are concerning for me. We have to think here about the right approach, about the right way to use him. And that is why yesterday, guys, when he's hobbling around, when he's limping after that challenge on his ankle in the first half, he's got to come off. There is absolutely no way here. It's really irresponsible, in my opinion, that he was allowed to continue in that game for 75 minutes. He wasn't right to play. He shouldn't have continued. And all that we can hope now is Yamal makes a full recovery, makes a swift recovery, of course, providing that everything goes well for him. We hope to see him back in the Super Cup there, providing we can go deep in that tournament, and we will see him back. And I'm sure shredding defences again in 2025. He is a joy to watch. We all absolutely love him. But above all else, and the most important thing for every Barca fan, we want him fit. We want him healthy, and we want him to have the incredible, record-breaking career spanning many, many years that he has the potential for. And it is our job as a club to deliver that for him there, guys. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below here on this injury to Yamal, on your thoughts there about the treatment here from the club, from La Liga, from referees from Spain. Where do you look right now for any blame, and what would you like to see happen in the future to try and prevent some of these injury issues that we are seeing right now, guys? So please let me know all of those thoughts in the comments down below. I will see all of you soon as we look to continue picking ourselves up. Thank you indeed, though, for the great support. But until next time, as always, Vesca, El Barça.